Hello, welcome to another Retainer Designer live stream. My name is Cade. My wife and I own a Ortho lab out in the country here in Texas, and I'm glad you're joining me today. It is another Sunday afternoon live stream, so I hope you're chilling today and not having to work. But you know, I'm gonna work because I can do this and work at the same time. So today we are working on a bonded lingual. I have to get this out on Monday. And I got to deliver early Monday, so I couldn't do it earlier because I didn't have RPE screws in yet. I ordered them too late, so I had to have them reschedule, which is a bad thing to do, to call the doctor's office and have them reschedule, but they understood that sometimes UPS doesn't deliver when you want them to. But anyway, hope y'all are here, and let's get into it. Let's maybe I'll do a little intro today. Yeah. Hello, it's good to see Dental Things is here. Diana Lopez is here. Leave a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from. Diana, I believe I know where you're watching from. I want to say Colombia. I could be wrong. I can't remember. Anyway, we will get started. I don't know how far I'll get on this. These usually take me a complete hour to finish, start to finish, but with me talking and stuff, it may take me longer, but we'll see. I do have some camera angles. One of these days it'll get cool enough outside I can do a duck cam again without my phones burning up. Let's see, I got this. Yep, oh, I'll do a little welding today. So we'll have that on there. And that one doesn't work. And that one, oh, I'm over here. I moved this camera. Maybe I can get a better shot of things. But anyway, oh, Amy. Oh, yes, long time no chat. Oh, good to see you on here again. It looks like Sunday afternoon's a good day. I guess most of y'all are just chilling. I know I just got done watching a few hours ago the Cowboys do a terrible job. Oh, that was just terrible. Still a fan of the Cowboys, but terrible. Let me get this going on here. Ecuador! See, I was not close, but I knew south. Well, you're right. I was thinking south of the southern hemisphere, but you're right there in the middle. So, these are my models I'm working with today. I'm not doing this right. There we go. Okay. These are the models I'm working with today. Just your basic. Oh, geez. This camera is. Hold on. Let me switch this back. See if I can get this camera to work. I did not fine tune. Oh, too bright. Zoom in. There we go. All right. These are our models. Oh, they're gray. So I need to brighten this up a bit. We'll see if that works. So as you can tell, this obviously needs RPE done in there. And there we go. Oh, Amy, Cowboy fan here too. Yeah, I bet you're disappointed as I am. Yeah, that was sad. Diana, I know. I'm waiting for the online course too. The good thing is I finally narrowed it down. I've got a good outline. I've already got a couple things recorded. So I think once I get it narrowed down, I will be able to get those spit out pretty quick. So yeah, I'm glad you're still excited about the online course. So I'll announce a place to send in your email soon. Actually, I think there's a link below. It says if you're interested in an online course, click here. It's like Retainer Designer Academy. You can click that. You put your email in there, I believe, and you can that way I can email out when it's ready. So I'm glad you still remember me about that. You haven't forgot about it. All right, so did you hear Pete? Yeah, Pete was Yeah, he's pretty active today, so you'll probably hear Pete a lot. Oh, I see him. He's staring at me. Well, that is creepy. See, I tell you, sometimes he knows I'm live streaming, and he knows I'm here, and he knows I'm trying to live stream. He likes to be part of it. Okay. Now, this doctor, and I'll go through what this doctor likes to do. So it's a bonded RPE. Pretty much I'm doing a wire framework around the 4 to 7s here, and then I'll put an RPE and I'll weld it all together. Then we'll prep the model for acrylic. I'm going to mount it on an articulator because the doctor likes it on an articulator, and then we'll sprinkle it. And we'll see how much time we have left. I might have enough time. I haven't set up the trimmer box over there, but maybe with this camera right here I can get it done. So we'll go for that. Now he has requested from me a special, there's dirt in there, not dirt but stuff, special wire. He wanted this nickel-free, non-corrosive, break-resistant wire. And I get this from Great Lakes Ortho. Menzanium is what I use for this, which does a pretty decent job. So I'll just pull it out. I don't know if you can see in this shot or not. I have it in my drawer here. Move my cup. I have it in my drawer, the spool of my drawer here. And so I just pull out a little bit, and then I put it on here, and I cut a chunk off, and I spool it back up, and then close the drawer, and that's it. And then I just start right here. I think I've done a live stream with one of these before, but I believe, and I probably should have done my research, and made sure. I think I did it on plaster models. But since then, I think that was a year or so ago, since then the doctor has switched over to scanning, and so now I print these 3D printed models and do it on here. I was nervous the first time because there's a good chance that I miss undercuts on here. It looks like it needs to go just a bit brighter. Maybe a little bit more. Let's just go 0. It's hard with this gray model. So I don't know why I start on the 6 and I go to the back and I work that way. And I just work around. I don't really try my hardest to tuck in and out very much because, I mean, you do want acrylic to go. This whole wire frame is going to be embedded in the acrylic. So I'm just kind of bending it back and forth. And we'll cross over here. I think I bet I could do these in about 40 minutes. One thing I run into is just drying time. Because I don't like to put separator on this until, I think the last live stream we talked about the separator being kind of fragile for the 3D printed models, and you can scratch it real easy, and once you scratch it, the acrylic can get it underneath it, and then your acrylic's going to stick to the model really, really bad. So I try my best to keep the 3D printed the separator. I try my best to keep it intact as best I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this whole framework, and then I'm going to go in and prep the model. That way I get all the abusive part out, and then I'll put 2 or 3 coats on here, and then we'll prep it. And did I put the pressure pot on? Yes, I did. I probably could have told me. You probably see it in the background. All right. What I'll try to do is get these two to just be parallel to each other. Hopefully y'all can see that. There we go. So I'm just doing a little tweaking with my 3 prongs here. There we go. So I've got that bent around, and we're going to weld that. I see some comments coming in. What's the difference in the wire the doctor requests versus other wire you normally use? Okay, so this is nickel-free. He wants nickel-free, not necessarily for... so yeah, this is considered nickel-free, non-corrosive, break-resistant. Mine should be non-corrosive. It's stainless steel, the regular wire I use. But he swears he was getting rusting happening on the wire in the acrylic. And I really think it was there's a bacteria that can get in there if the mouth is not that clean. And it'll just sit on the wire. If there's a little pinhole going to the wire through the acrylic, and then saliva gets in there, and then I think it'll rust. So he wanted the nickel free. He thought it was the nickel causing a reaction in the mouth, and it looked kind of bad, like it was rotting, but it wasn't. It just looked bad. So he just switched out to this, asked me to go nickel free on it, and he said it's worked out great since then. So I haven't stopped. This thing, oh gosh, I want to say it's $40 or something. It was a really good price, and it's lasted me probably over a year now. And you can see I still got a lot to go in here. Should the framework go up to the canine, or is it best to go to premolar? I've always seen it go to the premolar. Most of the time, there's not a canine. So you'll do these on young patients that don't have, they still got their baby teeth, on top of the premolars. And they won't have their canines, or their canines will be way out. So the way I've always seen it is always what we call 4 to 7s. And Diana, I don't know what numbers y'all use. Would it be 1424 to 2818? I don't know if that's the number system y'all use or not in Ecuador. But yeah, I've only seen it go. Usually the canines they'll worry about the canines later. They just want that arch to expand, and usually the canines are not anywhere you can grab a hold of them around the wire. This one would be a good candidate. I think you could go around the canine pretty easily. But this is an older patient. Obviously, they are over 12 because they got their 12-year molars in. So, and they've lost all their baby teeth. I don't see any baby teeth. So it's a little bit of an older patient, probably 13 or 14 years old. Probably getting really close. Male or female? I can't tell from the name. I think female. I believe the females, the midline suture solidifies faster. All right, so let's weld this thing. Do I have a good shot? Right there. Okay. So first off, here is my Puck D3 D5 welder, and so what you're seeing is what I'm seeing through here. I'm not exactly, you're from the side, so it's not perfect. But let me put my cap on backwards here. Oh, my knee hit the camera. I'm sorry. So I'm going to ground this. Is my hand blocking? Nope. And I just kind of hold the two pieces together. Doesn't have to be a complete, perfect joint, just enough to keep them from pulling apart. Again, this is all going to be embedded in the acrylic anyway. I don't put my glasses on so I can see. Can you see that? It's all right. I could probably fill it in some more, but it'll work. So let's go back to here. Nope, that's the wrong one. That one. And then what I do is I'll just hold this in place. And then you can do a little bit of adjustment. Sometimes I'll overlap these wires wrong. Like that. And I'll get some sticky wax here. I'll do it that way. And again, Diana, the framework, again, it's up to the doctor. This is what the doctor wants, force to whatever the most terminal tooth is, or whatever tooth number that is. So I'm gonna grab my thing in my drawer, again, my spool, and it's coming out of the drawer here, and I just hold it on here. And what I usually do is, how I measure it is I'll go the length of one side and then I'll just double it, because that way it'll wrap around the other side. That tells me I have enough length. Gives me a lot less waste to do it that way. And again, I just start at the 6. Bend in, bend out. But sometimes I don't get a full scan, as you can see right here. But I think I have enough. But it's probably good to leave a note to the doctor, hey, if this doesn't fit, check the buccal distal of number 7. It may be hanging up on there because I didn't get a complete scan. Probably the very best thing I should have done was like, hey, can we get a new scan? And sometimes they'll tell me, hey, this was the best we could do. We could not get that scanning wand that far back in this patient's mouth. That's one of the bad things and good things about digital impressions is you don't have that goopy goop. Sometimes you don't get them whenever you take plaster impressions either. But sometimes it's hard to get that wand to go all the way back there. And sometimes I won't get the palette, and that becomes challenging. That's when I'll have to call the doctor. Like, hey, we might need a new scan. I'm going to be floating this RPE in the middle of nowhere. I feel like there was... I do have a picture. I don't think it was a video. I do have a picture of an RPE where I got the old do the best you can from the doctor's office. And they were like, I know this was a problem patient. We couldn't get the full scan. Just do the best you can. Obviously it worked. It didn't come back. But I had to stack up a bunch of wax right in the middle of the palette and pretend to make a roof palette, the roof of the mouth out of wax. Sometimes I go a little too fast here. Slow down, Kate. But when you got like, I think the most I had to make one night is 5 of these, and I only have one articulator, so I'd have to make one, pull it off the articulator. The good thing is to grind these, I don't need the articulator, kind of like you would need if you were doing a splint or a night guard. You need the articulator so you can tap in the occlusion. But this one, you don't need to do that. He wants them trimmed flat, but he wants the angle set in the articulator. He has a special way that he showed me that he wants all these set in the articulator. And I'll go over that with y'all. I'm not sure how many of y'all have Galetti Articulators. I was going to check and make sure that the Galetti Articulator, I think I found them on Amazon, and so I have an Amazon page in the description below. And if y'all click on that and y'all buy anything from Amazon. If you're in the States, I've tried to do other countries, but they don't, for some reason, doesn't ever work. But if you're in the States, I think I put a Galetti Articulator in there. But I know with Galetti, there's a lot of fake ones out there, so I'm always afraid to put. You'll know it's a real one if it's $700. They're very expensive. And I had a friend that I'm friends with through the ORG, the Ortho Lab Association, and I think he watched one of my live streams or something, and he was like, "Kate, I noticed you were talking about how you wanted a Galetti to do these. I have one I'm not using. You want it for $75?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" And that was year 2000. So 4 years ago. This Galetti has just been going nonstop ever since. So now I'm just kind of making sure those are parallel so it'll be easy to weld. Can y'all see that? I'm having a hard time seeing today. Make sure those are parallel. Probably can move that up a little bit. This one's flared out a little bit from the model over here. So I'm going to try to tighten that up a bit. And of course, the more you have space between the wire and the tooth, again, you can get acrylic between the wire and the tooth, but the bad news is if it's too, it make your acrylic thick. All right, so let's go to welding. Boom. I keep kicking that. I am sorry. Where'd that go? Come back. All right. Whew, I got hot. So I try to get like 4 or 5 in there. Again, I'm not worried too much because it's going to embed in the acrylic. So let's get this waxed down. Ooh, that sometimes tightens up. Back up, camera, back up. All right, I'm going to have to adjust this thing. It's kind of annoying me. There we go. I keep on to work like really far away from me. So I got to get the thing back up underneath. Let's see. Okay. All right, we'll wax this side down. One thing I can do, remember how I said that this is not a complete scan? Just right here, I'm going to add a little bit of wax, just as a little buffer. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. And then let's set this on here. And then I'll set a little wax right there. And that's just going to hold those two while I put the RPE in. Before I grab the RPE, let's see. Dental things. It's fun getting to show those work your magic sayings and docs on cases with crazy impression. Yes, yeah, you would know about that. As if y'all don't know that are watching Dental Things, he teaches assistants. He's an instructor. Got a great channel. Check out his channel. Subscribe to it. He's got some really great videos on tooth numbering and stuff like that. And yeah, I had a in-house lab person that I know, Karen. She's awesome. She had one of those buttons you would get, and she made one, or her assistants made it for her because she was in-house lab tech, and it said "Miracle Worker." And so every time they asked her to do something crazy with whatever impression she had to work with, she'd put that button on and do her miracle and then turn it in. It was great. We should get those buttons made up for the conference coming up. I think that'd be great. So we'll go here this is where I keep this thing is where I keep my little parts and screws and stuff. I love these Leone screws. They come in these nice little packages, and you get the screw and the key, and you get an activation key, and then you get instructions that you can give to the patient. Usually the doctor has their own instructions, but this actually has like, did you turn it daytime, nighttime? Again, this is from Italy, so it's got Italian and English instruction. It shows how to turn this in the roof of the mouth. So I thought that's neat that they do this. So I'll throw that in there in the pan. I'll throw that in there so I don't lose it. Throw this in there so I don't lose it. And then, so this is a Leone Eagle. It's got orthogonal arms. So usually when you see RPEs, they go out the sides here. So this really lets you get deep in the palette. So I'll go ahead and activate that. And you can see how well this goes deep in the palette. Now, if the arms went out the side, they'll be hitting the sides of the roof of the mouth before you get down that far. And also, it's a 10 millimeter width, so this will activate 10 millimeters. And the other Leone, the standard ones, the 620s, they only activate 9 and 12 or 9, 11. The numbers are weird. And this doctor, he's like, I want a 10. And so I found this one. I said, it's not the classic Leone screw that you've seen, but it's 10. And he goes, all right, we'll try it. He doesn't think it would be very comfortable for the patient, but he hadn't said anything since then. But he does want this off the roof of the mouth. So what I use to do that is a little bit of pink wax. And he's told me 5 millimeters off the roof of the mouth. Like it needs to be suspended off the roof of the mouth. Some doctors want you to get, I don't know if it has something to do with the RPE, the bonded RPE or what. So this is about 1 millimeter. Don't prove me wrong. Yeah. So 8.84. Oh no, I need to do millimeters. There we go. 0. Yeah, so this is 1.8. And you can squeeze it down a little bit. Yeah, so this is almost 2 millimeters. So what I do is I do, let's say 2, 4, 6. And then I'll tear that off. Actually, I do 4 layers. Kind of curious what 4 layers is. And again, this is not exact science. This is wax. 6.43. Now what I'm going to do is melt this into the roof of the mouth. I'm going to do this off the model here. See if I can zoom in. I'm going to melt this into the roof of the mouth. And so that's going to provide my space. And then I'm also going to set this screw into the melted wax. And that's going to create kind of a matrix. And it's going to help me bend. I'm going to get my handy dandy blazer torch. And I'm going to melt this wax a little bit. So now's the chance to set this in here. Use whatever measuring stick to make sure you're in the middle of the mouth. And then I like to hold it up, make sure I'm level. Like so. And I just kind of double checking. Now I'm going to let that cool down for a second, and that's going to, once it cools down, it's going to provide, oh, that is shiny, isn't it? Can I turn this off? Yep. I'm kind of working in the dark, but that's actually a better shot for y'all, isn't it? Can I do this? A little bit of a light. Oh, it's ghostly. I don't like it. I need a lot of light. My eyes are old. Let me turn it down some. Just getting a bad reflection on there. Okay, so you can see it's made a little indent in there. And it is changeable. So if you feel like, hey, I don't think it's going down the midline, which I don't think it is, I'm going to take it, I'm just going to rotate it just a bit. And it will deform that ever so slightly, so that every time I put this back into the wax, it will put me in the same spot. And so then I'm just going to start bending the wires against the framework. And I'll do mostly bend it by hand, but I will get my heavy 3-prongs in here to get them to lay down the way I want to. And I kind of want them to hit in between the bicuspids and in between the molars here. Of course, every mouth is different. So I'm going to lay these over. Back up a little bit so you can see some of the bending. And I need to move this up, so I'm going to do this and do this. Move this up, so I'm going to bend it here. Oh, hello, David. Like that pink hand. It's like goes along with my pink wax. Looks like I need to lube up my model holder. It's starting to squeak on me. What does everyone do on a Sunday afternoon right before you got to get back into work? Just watch football games. I think Amy, she said she was a Cowboys fan too. We got to watch a terrible Cowboys game earlier. If y'all are just tuning in, my name's Cade. My wife and I own an orthodontic lab and a little laboratory we built next to our house out in the country. And right outside my window is chickens and ducks I could just stare at. Sometimes I have a duck cam from the live stream. And we'll try to get back to that because I think people enjoy that more than my actual live stream. And sometimes I have a rooster named Pete, and he likes to interrupt my live stream by crowing at odd times. Okay, I've marked these. I'm going to cut them. And then I'm going to... So what I do is I have a trash can here, and I'm just cutting them into the trash can. It's got a great, because it's a trash can, it's got a lid. It acts like a backboard. So I've cut those relatively short. And now I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to kind of look around. I do want these more concave than convex, so kind of concave against the roof of the mouth, just for patient comfort. And I'm going to hold it a bit, and I like to hold it and make sure I'm level. You know, the screw's not in there like this or like this, and the screw's not in here like this or like this. So I think I'm pretty close. This seems a little straighter than I would like, and this has a slight bend to it. I'm going to see if I can get a little slight bend in here. I'm trying to look at this level. Yeah. Sometimes I catch myself looking at the screen instead of actually looking at the model. So I've bent this arm away from here. So now I'm going to lay it flat by grabbing a hold of it like this and pulling it down. Amazing how much of the RPEs you bend by hand. I do have an RPE bending tool. Where is that? I think I've just gotten my calluses built up to be able to bend these by hand. But I also need some heavy 3-prong pliers. There we go. I'm liking that. And I'm gonna take my sticky wax here. And I'm just gonna hold this down. So we're gonna laser weld this. And I gotta do the best I can to make sure that the wires are touching. Because I'm hoping to get at least 2 welds on each side of each wire. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that stupid thing I just did? Good, good. I'm glad y'all saw that. Glad I got to share that with the world. There we go. I'm about to do it again. That's not touching here. It's touching there. Barely touching there. I almost got that too short. That one's touching. That one's touching. Okay. Oh, you almost did it again. Cade, what is the definition of insanity? You keep doing the same thing over and expect a different result. All right, I think we're ready for weld. Let's weld this. Bam. That is my... Well, I keep hitting that camera. I got it right where my knee goes. Okay, instead of clipping this on here, I'm just going to touch it against something. And... well, if I can get the right angle. I don't know if I'm blocking y'all or not. There we go. Right now I'm just doing one side, down each side. Sometimes I've screwed this up, not touching at all. Not touching at all. Okay, it's gonna take a little. I thought that was touching, it's hard to tell. Okay, I need some tinier 3-prongs. Let's see if that is not a 3-prong. There we go. Please don't break my tiny 3-prongs, not in front of everybody. I'm gonna move it forward a little bit, and that'll help to touch better. There we go. Just need a little bit more, a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. I think I'm touching now. We'll see. It's another thing to see that on the camera, but to see it under a microscope. There we go. Okay. Now let me tag the other side of each of these wires, and then this framework's probably safe to take off the model. Because right now, it's just all held on with sticky wax until I get all this tacked together. And if I have room, I'll do one on top. Sometimes I can't get my little electrode down in there. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't think I changed my camera. I am so sorry. There we go. Okay, let's how well does this do? Oh yeah. It's a little blurry. My camera might be a little shy. All right, here's a chance. I'm gonna switch it back. There we go. Can't get this to zoom in. There we go. So I'm gonna get the underside. Obviously I couldn't get it because the model was in the way last time. But this is just gonna help really tack all this together. There you go. Don't know if y'all saw that or not. I'm looking at under a thing. There we go. And there we go. Now, I saw some questions or comments come in. I'm going to get to those right as I get this settled in. So I'm scraping off that sticky wax I put down. And then I'm going to get my pink wax out, and I'm going to start blocking out some stuff here. You can see it kind of burnt the model a bit, so I'm going to wax out. I don't want that burnt part to get encapsulated into the acrylic. And I'm mainly just trying to block out anything that is undercut or would cause the acrylic to be real sharp or underneath. Again, they're going to be cementing this on with a special glue. So anything I wax, especially this fossa area, it allows that glue to get in there between the acrylic of the Bonded RPE and the tooth, and it allows some glue to get in there so it can bond. I do have some. Uh-oh, someone's coming in the door. Or it's haunted. Oh, it's the cat. Lily, I hear you. I'm just kind of do a little bit of the custom tips, just kind of getting a little. It helps to release the RPE off, and then I'm going to use my 3D print separator, my little bottle here, and I have a little jar full of water because I have my brushes on here, and the brush that has the rubber band on it, that's for my 3D printed models, and the brush that doesn't have one, that's for my other separator for plaster models. And then I'm going to put a few drops here. This is my first coat of separator, and I want to make sure I get a nice thin even coat all the way around, and then I'm going to put it on this fan that's blowing on here, or kind of more blowing past it, not really directly on it. And then the lower model, I'm going to actually do a little waxing on the cusp tips. That's hard to say, especially with my Texas accent. Cusp tips. And I just do a little bit just on the cusp tips that are going to be interacting with the acrylic, because I know the acrylic, sometimes I have to like squeeze it together in the articulator, and then sometimes when I do that, it pulls off the. Oh, I was trying to stick that. It pulls off the layer of separator, but if I have a layer of wax right on the cusp tips, then it won't stick to the acrylic. The wax acts like a separator also. Just got to keep them, keep them separated. Hey, me oh my. Okay. I need to clip off. I thought I had some clippers here. I know I had some. Oh, hanging off the side. All right. These back here, the gums, the operculum, they're going to get in the way. So I'm just going to kind of clip these off. I'll show you in a second why I did that. So I have that drying up there. I'm going to grab the Galetti Articulator. Which is this thing. Ooh. Now, the stone patties are not in there. When I'm doing a lot of these, I keep these in here and I just super glue the models to the stone patties. because like I said, I don't need to tap this in as if I'm doing a splint. You got to get the occlusion just right. I just need it to hold it directly, you know, however many millimeters of the teeth apart, so I know the thickness is right. And then if I grind it down by eyesight to the right thickness, to the cusp tips that get embedded in the acrylic, if I grind it to that, then I know I'm at the right thickness. I don't need to keep this. So then what I do is I peel off the models and then dry this off. I'll put it in the fan over here, and I'll do the fan and just do the next one, and I keep going with that. All right, I gotta get my wife to come get Lily because she's gonna try to jump in my lap in a little bit, and it's gonna be scary. You're gonna see me scream. So where is, oh, stop with the alerts. Decided not to mow today. Oh, my son's texting me, decided not to mow today because I didn't feel like showering for the second time. Okay, understood. Can you come get Lily out of the lab? I had a lady from my church come today to get some chicken eggs, and my cat snuck in while we were getting the chicken eggs. We have a big fridge here in the lab, and since it's so close, my wife keeps all the chicken eggs in there, and sometimes we get too many, and it causes a problem. So I'm actually gonna, I'm just gonna clean this off a little bit. Actually, I'll show you under here. And that gets any extra acrylic off. You can see how many times I've done this. All right, so I'm going to take this. This is already dry. So then I take my glue gun and I just run it around the edge. Yep. And if y'all know anything about glue guns, you know these little spider webs that it produces are annoying. So then while that's setting, I'll put it back on the fan up here, and then I grab my upper model, hold it against that plaster little patty thing. There we go. And I'm just putting it around the border. Nothing pretty, nothing fancy, and it looks like my camera froze. Wonderful. Love it when it does that. So it's nothing fancy. So then let me zoom out a lot. Not that much. I'll take these two and put them together like this, and I'll undo these two screws here and here. And the cool thing is then this becomes movable like this, and I sock it in. Usually you can find the occlusion on these young kids because you know there's nothing weird going on. So it's pretty socked in, and so then when it's the occlusions in there good, I'll lock this down. I'll lock this down. And now you have your articulator. Now, I did this too early, but I wanted to show you all that part. So let me unscrew this and this. I'm still holding it together. And what I like to do is push it up against my chest. I can't do it here. Let's see if I can do it with my hands. What I'm doing is he wants about a millimeter ramp built into this. Kind of an opening. It's really slight. And that's really great to do these on the Galetti. So see I've built, so I've loosened this ball joint and I've loosened this joint, and it allowed me to just raise this ever so slightly, right? And so then I'm gonna open it up using this thing down here, and as I twist it, it'll open up like that. And I'm just making sure I got enough acrylic to clear right there, and then I'll lock it down, and it's mounted, ready to go. He wants this to happen, this open bite right here, because he wants the lower teeth to be able to skid around on the acrylic, and then open them wide, and then when he takes it out, he comes back in and fixes everything, but it helps just open everything up. So everything's set. I'm gonna put a second coat on here because I did scuff up a bit on here. Oh, I don't like that light. Well, y'all don't want to see my hairy arm. I was gonna go full screen on this just to see if I can see what you're seeing. I know many of y'all are like me and are very visual. So I got another second layer there, and we'll do another layer here. And you can see right here I've scuffed up the separator. You can see right there and right there. So in those parts, this will still be the first coat. So I'm actually gonna put 3 coats in, and in those certain areas where the teeth ground together, and it removed that first layer of separator, I'll at least have 2 coats in that area. So then again, I'll put this up here on my frozen camera, and it's frozen. Can I reattach this? I don't know why it's frozen. Okay, wow. Okay, yeah, that didn't work. Oh, my screen is dull. Oh, that helps out so much. Okay. Oh, just seeing my screen helps out. Okay. Escape. All right, while that's drying. Oh, Mr. Martinez, Dr. Martinez, how are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Not Dr. Martinez. I'm getting confused with someone else, sorry. Amy, I'm back. Sorry, I had a phone call to take. Kate, I'm sorry I missed your question. Answer my question about the wires. The call came in just to sync my question. Okay, yeah, that works out because those that didn't miss that first part, the framework wire, this wire right here is a special nickel-free wire that I get from Shoe. I bought this from Great Lakes Ortho, and it's nickel-free, non-corrosive, break-resistant, and those are the there's less than 1% of nickel, manganese, chromium, that kind of stuff. So he's requested nickel-free. He felt like the wires were tarnishing inside the acrylic, and it looked bad. You know, the kids thought they were bleeding or their teeth were rotting or something like that. So he goes, "Cade, can we switch to nickel-free?" I was like, "Yeah." And so I do keep it in this drawer in here that y'all can't see because my camera stopped working. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. You thought you heard a cat. Yeah, that's Lily. My wife was kind enough to text her to come get her because I was afraid she was going to come jump in my lap in the middle of this thing and scare me. So what I'm going to do is, you can see here, there is a little bit of tarnish from the weld, just not very much. But I do like to take my Mizzy heatless wheel and I'll knock off these little sharp and just flatten them. Usually my acrylic, there go the ducks. Usually the acrylic is thick enough these won't poke through, but just in case. And then I'm going to go run and hide. No, I'm going to go run and high shine this on my lathe right behind here. I'd show you on this camera, but no, it has decided to stop working on me. So while I'm over here, I'm going to see if I can reboot it. So forgive me for a second. So I'm just using some metal polish. This right here. Green Rouge. A lot of y'all probably seen this. Boy, it does not focus, does it? And I'm just gonna kind of, if I don't think I got all the wax off, I'll steam it. But if I've done a pretty clean job. Now I got black stuff on my fingers. I mean, look, people are going to be tuning in and going, why is his hand so dirty? But we got it nice and shiny. And let's put one more coat. Am I on the third coat already? I can't remember. Sometimes I'll just do another coat if I've lost track. Now that still looks wet. No, it doesn't feel wet. Yeah. I'm going to do only a couple drops. Again, this is just to get anything that got damaged, any separator that got damaged. I want to make sure it gets covered. Just do a couple drops. Paint it on. Back to the dryer, whatever that is. Okay. Ooh, Chef Master Kaga, cool. I enjoy watching you work, bro. I just got home from the shop, making 2 bonded RPEs. This is my first video I saw. No way. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. You just did 2 bonded RPEs. Did you articulate them? Did you have to go? Now this is per dart. I've seen them where Steve Zara actually has a really good video where he does it on a Biostar, which is pretty cool. So I'm pointing over here, but you can't see it. It's out of the picture, but just an old school Biostar. And he puts the metal framework on the model, and he puts the model in the beads, and then he does a suck down, or he mixes up some resin, puts it around it, does a suck down. You don't need articulator on that. Some doctors don't want articulator; they just want it flat, plain, just even thickness. This one he's got a certain thing he likes to do. So that's funny. You actually saw an RPE. You just got done doing RPEs. On a Sunday, you were working on a Sunday. And you call your lab the shop. I like that. That's cool. Dental things. Finally bought a steamer off eBay for a steal, and it turns out to be similar model, reliable to the one you made about 7 years ago. Still have that one. That's the one I have right now. Any interesting things I should watch out for? Yes, it goes out every 2 years. Good luck. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. The heating element tends to go out every few years or so, and I just take it to Garland Dental Repair, and in 24 hours they change it over and do the thing. So, speaking of Zara Dental, hello. He's the one I was telling you. He's got one of these where he makes them on the Biostar. So, solenoid. I never had a solenoid go out that I know of. And that's what we're talking about, the heating element. Did I say solenoid? I just replaced that on my mower. So, I might have accidentally said solenoid. But yeah, I think the solenoid is the thing where you click to activate the steamer. You can hear it click. I think that's the solenoid. But yeah, the burner goes out every once in a while. So, and every once in a while, I'll take it, unscrew the lid, turn it upside down, let all that, you get black gunk in there. Just, if you want, you can use distilled water all the time, but just keeping, as much as we use the steamer, man, keeping that much distilled water on hand That's a pain. So we just use sink water, but some sort of filtered water to keep all the calcium and lime. I don't know what type of water you have in California, but it depends on how hard a water you have. You may want to use some distilled or deionized. I think it's deionized water. And then that way it'll keep your burner tank, your boiler cleaner. Yeah, well, I'm about to use it, I think, so I use it every once in a while on the stream. And my other one didn't come back. Is this thing dry yet? Almost. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to set this. I'll show you how I block it out for all the resin, the acrylic stuff that I do. We're going with Carnival Blue. Now, because I'm articulating this, I can do all different colors. So you saw on the thumbnail, I picked a glitter one that I've done in the past, and so this is another glitter one. The kids love the glitter, that nobody sees it. Okay, I don't know if I've lost internet on this camera. Hold on a second, guys. Oh yeah. Connected without internet. Why are you like that? That's what went. So, you'll like my camera. That's the camera that was over there. I think on the live stream, you should see it below. You can order one of these for your phone. I just like, it's a great conversation starter. So I got one for my personal phone and then one for, this is my lab phone that the doctors call me on. So I got one for each one. Let me turn this back on. I really need this for doing the acrylic because I really don't want to get, oh yeah, okay, I think I got it. Because I really don't want to get, I don't want to do the acrylic here, I want to do it on my unit back there. Okay, I think I got it. All right, let me get set up just for a second. Now I got that reconnected. Just lost internet connection, which is really weird that it did that. Okay, setting it up over here. Zoom in a bit too much. Go back. I don't need this right now. Okay, ready to put this back on. No, stop that. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and disconnect this on the Galetti. Ooh, Steve, yes. I forgot about that. Yeah, put some vinegar in the steamer and it'll dissolve that. Man, I don't know why I don't ever remember that. But that's a great idea. And I think they do sell some official descaler for steamers. If you wanted to do official scale, I probably need to buy some. That's probably why my burner goes out every couple of years. And I have two of them, 2 steamers, and so I keep one on rotation. That way I don't ever lose it because you get dependent on them. So I've put this back in. It's nice having that little wax index. And so what I'm going to do is on this distal part, I'd like to put my hot glue. I need to order off Amazon my hot glue sticks again. My colored ones. I like the colored so I can see them better. I'm going to sit here just for a split second, let that cool. And I'm going to do one here. You can go without doing this. I would suggest protecting the screw if you can. I think like when Steve does his in the Biostar, he covers it with beads, his screw, so that the suck down doesn't get embedded in the screw threads. So I like doing hot glue because it's really easy cleanup. This stuff just peels out from underneath the acrylic whenever I'm ready to take this off the model. And I don't know if we'll get that far. Yeah, we're running out of time. We'll get this to where we're getting off the model, and then maybe I'll do a part 2 of trimming it if I can get there. Now, one thing I found some clay in a drawer, and I'll show you what I've been doing lately, and it may not be something you want to mess with. I think this is just like regular modeling clay. I don't think it dries out, obviously. And so I'll take a little blob of this, and this is what I do to protect the screw. Y'all saw that, right? And this is what I do to protect the screw. Nothing happened. Nothing. Y'all saw nothing. Y'all saw nothing. There's no evidence of it. Like video, no evidence at all of what you just saw. And so little overkill. But I don't want to do all this work and then the screw just be, you know, embedded with acrylic or encased in acrylic. You got to pick it out of the threads and stuff like that. Got a little bit of wax there that's bothering me. Otherwise, you could run more hot glue here or some more wax, stuff like that. But hey, we're good to go with acrylic. About the wires tarnishing, we found out that after we polish the wires, we have to avoid touching them with the bare hands, since finger oils before the acrylic would do that. I think you're a genius. That might be, I high shined it and I touched that. Dang. That might have, I didn't have to do all that. I don't know if I just wipe it off. Will that work? Can I do that? That's a great point. You know, your oils on your hands get, so probably working with gloves or something after you've high shined it. I didn't think about that. I should start trying that. All right, let's go to acrylic station. I'm gonna take my two pieces over here. That's the wrong thing. Yeah, y'all saw that. Exactly. Okay. This one. No, that one. All right, let's clean up my mess here. You can tell the last thing I sprinkled was a luminary blue. But this one's going to be a sparkle. We're going with, put this one back, number 11. We're going with, oh, there's so many of these. Carnival Blue is actually a very popular blend. So if y'all don't know, JVC, I get my acrylics from her, and she doesn't just have like blue and red and green glitter. She'll take them and take pink and purple and put them together, and that's Carnival Blue. And there's no blue in Carnival Blue. There's that. Put that there. I keep this over beside me until I'm ready to put these together. Okay. I'm going to use the Tinted Clear so it won't look so yellowed, since this glitter is pretty much just clear powder with glitter pre-mixed in it. And that's another reason I do like getting pre-mixed glitter. I don't have to worry. I know you can save a lot of money by just buying the glitter. There's a big batch and you just sprinkle a bunch on. And it seems to be, the blend is pretty consistent when it comes from JVC. Put some glitter on here. I think I put too much clear underneath. I usually work these in sections, so like I'll do the buckle, right, and I'll wet it down, and then I'll do the occlusal, and I'll wet it down, and I'll do the lingual, wet it down. Put a little extra back here. and build it up, because I know, remember, I put that little ramp in there that the doctor wants. He wants it thinner in the posterior, thicker in the interior. And if y'all want to predict in the comments of why he wants to do that, y'all go ahead. So there's the lingual, there's the occlusal. I like to get this first layer really wet so the acrylic gets up underneath between the wire and the tooth. Okay, do a little this, a little bit of this. Now to turn back at the screen, since it's behind me, make sure my camera didn't freeze again. In the comments, do a little survey. Those that work in a lab, let me know in the comments, are you an in-house lab in a doctor's office? Do you work for a doctor? Are you a commercial lab? Do you work in your house? Do you work, do you have a building? Like somebody said, the shop. Got back from the shop, just got some RPEs done. Yeah, let me know, even if you're watching this from, not from the live stream. You know, I'm really curious. As I build my online course, you know, who am I really targeting? And I think it's going to be the ones that are working in-house with a doctor and want to get out on their own, or they're an assistant and want to create their in-house lab on their own, maybe even in the doctor's office. So I'll put the two together. I'm going to push them, close those down, and then I'm just making sure all the bicuspids are touching. So it's a little wet. I'm going to build it up right here. This is touching. I don't need to build that up. I'm just going to put a little freeze on there. Let's wet this down right here. I made that a little thick. There we go. So I'm touching there. Mainly he wants the lower canines, lower bicuspids to touch. I'm just making sure there's no slumping. And we're ready for the pressure pot. Get this out of my, sorry if I made anybody sick. Into the pressure pot it goes. I'm going to give that a few minutes to cure while I answer some more questions. And then we'll take it apart, and the trimming might be for another day. It's already... oh, you work from home. So when we did our interview, you were at home, right? I think that's right. Where'd my coffee go? Shouldn't be drinking coffee this late, but yeah, we'll give that 5 or so minutes to set up, and then that way we can do the separation part, you know, the scary part. And okay. You work from home, so that's good. Chef Masticaga. My lab is just down the street from my house. I've been working at that location for 10 years. That's awesome. Yeah, mine is at the end of my driveway. So walk out the front door of my lab, and it's 70 steps I've walked. Do you have to drive? Is it down the street enough to drive, or, you know, skateboard or electric scooter down there? But I just walk to the lab. You know, I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, the stupid ads during live stream. I'm so sorry. Did it ruin when I talked about the wire? I'll try to give you a link to a ad-free one. I think I can do that. So I'll try to do that. The water is hot or warm? It's warm. It is 120. Yeah, 120 degrees is the preset for that. You can go higher or lower, and I think it's at 120. I'd like to get I think I have one. I have this one, but I don't think it's working because it's saying it's 100 degrees right now. Come on, focus. Ah. Yeah, I was looking at this. I was going to use it to check it, but it's already saying it's 110 right now. Probably my hands on it, but I think it's broken or it's got too much stuff on here. But yeah, it's warm, and the warmth helps to speed up the acrylic polymerization process. It helps speed that up so that it gets cured faster. Yes, Cade. Okay, yeah, you were interviewing from home. Okay, perfect. No, not about the wires. Ads pop up whenever. Annoying is what they are. Yeah, I forget that the ads are on. I just have YouTube add them. Now, I have experience with the last live stream. I think I can insert an ad wherever I want. Like right, let's see if I can do this. Insert ad, you can add transition. Okay, so let's say we're talking right now. And so let me insert an ad. And maybe I'll do this in the future. I'm going to try to figure this out so that whenever there's a break of something not so important that you can miss. But like when I'm sprinkling, I don't want an ad there. So here's an example. Let me see if I can insert an ad right here. So looks like the ad's been inserted. Now, one thing I'm not used to ads because my own account, I pay for the premium service, which is like 10 or 15 bucks a month. And I don't get ads on my YouTube, which is nice when you're working in the lab and you want to listen to something or a podcast or something that's on YouTube. There's no ads, so that's what's great. And even if you have premium, my channel would still get a few pennies for you watching the live stream, whether you're on premium or watching the ads, even if you skip the ads. So feel free to skip the ads. But I can't remove them. YouTube has to have them in there. I guess I'd have to put it unlisted or not monetize it. If I didn't monetize, I still feel like YouTube still puts ads on there because they got to create some sort of income for hosting the videos for free. I can't complain too much because this hosting is, it's 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes. This hosting is going to get expensive as I'm trying to figure out whenever I'm creating the school where am I going to host the videos, because I don't want to do it on YouTube because I don't want ads. And so I've been actually trying to post the ad-free version on my Patreon. So at least those that do $1 a month on the Patreon, they get ad-free videos. So probably tomorrow I'll upload this to Patreon and just do an ad-free version of it. All right. 5 minutes. Okay. Let's go see if that's cured. Hopefully it is. It doesn't take long, and that's, Diana, it's hot or warm, and that's why it's warm. It sets up faster. And then the pressure in the pressure pot raises the atmospheric temperature, which reduces the boiling point of the monomer during the exothermic reaction. So it's exothermic reaction of the acrylic produces heat, which produces little tiny bubbles. So if you ever cure, like bench cure is what we call it, with cold cure acrylic, you just set it on the bench to cure, you'll get tiny little bubbles. And that's just from the exothermic reaction. So the pressure is 22 psi. And I don't know if that's like 4 bar or 1 bar of pressure. Like it raises the atmospheric pressure. And it probably depends on where you're at in the country. Like if you're Mile High in Decatur, you may not need a pressure pot. I don't know. I just know it helps to condense the acrylic and make it harder. and then the air bubbles don't get produced during the acrylic. These are ads you see when you're watching regular YouTube videos. They can be about anything. They're not ads from you. They start putting ads in live streams. Yeah, these are what I'm creating. Whenever I said I'll insert an ad here, is I've said, okay, YouTube. What I can do is force YouTube not to place one of their ads, general YouTube ads, in this part. So I can actually pause them during important parts. I need to remember to start doing that. I've just figured this out last couple weeks. I can actually pause them and say, YouTube, don't put it here, and YouTube, don't put it here, right in the middle of the live stream, because it's annoying. They don't know what part of the live stream to put it on. So yeah, the ads are, not my ads. If I start getting sponsored, maybe I don't need to go monetization from YouTube. That'd be cool. This ad sponsored by Leone. And then just held up a key. I don't know why. Leone. And they can pay me thousands of dollars. No, I wish. Let's get that out of the pressure pot. Oh, one more. I just had 2 ads pop in. One, allergy meds. The other one for big sporting goods store. It's actually what you've been Googling, which is the scary part. So you've probably been having allergies, and you're going to go camping soon. All right, let's go. Okay, let's see if I can... I've had pretty good luck with this. Let me move this back to my poor little rag I use to help pad the table. So I'll take my knife in here, and then I'll break it apart like that. And then, now if I have to do another one, I'll just go ahead and pull this off while it's warm. And then I'll scrape this stuff off, and then I'll spray it with air to remove the excess water, and then I'll put it under that fan, and then that way it will, there we go. So, and I'll just keep them screwed in here. And again, this is only if you don't need to tap in the occlusion, which I don't need to on these. The doctor didn't. She said, don't do that. Just use the articulator to get the thickness right. So, they're not, hitting more crooked here or here or here. That's one good thing about that Biostar method is, you've got an even thickness on both sides. So then here's that hot glue. See how it just peels out of there? And it's nice and clean. Gives you a nice purchase for your knife to pull up. See, I've already decluded, uncluded, removed. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. Then there we go. Now I'll go ahead and move this. And then I can reuse this, and it gets dirty, obviously, but just push it through and just collect all this stuff. And that's it. Actually, let me go grab the steamer. Oh, there. Oh, sorry. I think I hit the wrong button. Hopefully that is work. So we'll steam this off. And this clay stuff that I use does a pretty good job. So sorry about the noise. Turn it on. Okay, that's probably good enough. Probably need to clean the model too. But here we are. We'll end it there. This is your final thing. I'll post pictures of the finished product. I'm running late. I don't want to take too much of y'all's time live streaming, trimming this thing. I don't have my camera set up anyway. But if you're watching the remake, I promise I'll put a, if you don't see it, let me know in the comments. I get alerted when y'all comment on these videos. But if you want, you can, I'll put a link somewhere in here or at the end screen to a video where I did it start to finish. So you can see the trimming part and stuff like that. So this is going to be the start of the trimming part, and this is what I get to get ready to start trimming. And so then, if you can see on the underside, you can see the gum line. You may not be able to see in the camera, but I'll trim it here, here, and then I'll use my wire wheel and trim here, underneath here. But that's it. And then I'll just start on the next one, and then I'll trim all together. Trimming doesn't take long once I've done 100 or so of these. And I haven't, you can see how this side was more wet. We'll see how that trims up right here, because you can see the acrylic dripped a little bit. And it was a little more dry on this side because I sprinkled this side first. But that's it. Maybe that helps someone out there, and that helps me get my work done. That this is due Monday, and I gotta go eat dinner and then come back and trim this. One of the great things about working, and the bad things about working in a lab close to your house, you can go to the house anytime, is the good news. And the bad news is you can go to your house anytime and take a nap. Mr. Martinez, Iliac Martinez, I haven't got any ads today. Really? Oh, good. Okay. I don't know if I have that still on pause. No. Ad insert. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that, and you may have, YouTube told me it's going to be different for every person. So I don't know how. I'll try to do my best to do ad breaks at a certain time. And so you're welcome. You're welcome for the live stream. And again, look for that link for the live stream I did where I did one of these start to finish. And then you'll see the trimming part of it. And like I said, I think if I remember right, I did that on plaster models. So after you get it out of the pressure pot, it's the same process, whether it's plaster or 3D printed resin. But that's it. The last ad is a perfect moment for when you went to turn on the pressure pot. Oh, good. Awesome. I'm glad that worked. Yeah, I'll try to do better. Now I know I can place those ads where I need them to be, you know, during transitions and stuff. That'll be good. Oh, and Amy wants to say good evening to everyone, and please record the trimming. Great video. Yeah, if I don't get it recorded, I'll put that link at the end of this video. So come back to this video, or search my channel for Bonded RPE, and I have the trimming and pumice and polishing in there. Or if I remember, I'll set up a couple cameras, do real quick video. I'll put it on Patreon, and it'll definitely be in the online school. So, yeah, thumbs up, everybody. Again, thank y'all for watching. I'm glad we get to spend this Sunday evening together. I'm starting to really enjoy it and look forward to it. Not that I haven't looked forward to it before, but it seems everybody's more relaxed. We're not trying to work out the door when we do that. So. Until then, I want to say thank y'all, and I don't have my coffee cup here with my happy bending. I don't know what happened to it. I think my daughter took it. Anyway, until next time, happy bending.